Well, hello, hello. Rosa, RCG Creations, how are you doing? Bringing to you a cookie recipe. This is from I had another recipe in mind, but 3 of the main ingredients I don't have, so. And this is due tomorrow. Betty Crocker Cookbook. So I'm going to be making, it's called Vanilla Crisp, but I'm going to tweak it a little bit. I have never made this particular recipe before, but I'm sure it's going to be okay. It asks for 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of margarine or butter that's softened, 1 egg, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 cups all-purpose or whole wheat flour, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon cream of tartar. And instead of using the whole wheat or all-purpose flour, I'm going to be using my almond flour. And instead of the vanilla, I'm going to be doing the pure almond extract because I already chopped up my pecans, my almonds to put on top of the cookie. So that's where I'm going to tweak it at. So here is my 1 cup of all-purpose, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Is that 2 cups? You know, we're not using flour. Oh, I forgot, because I'm not using the flour. All-purpose, I'm doing whole wheat. So what I gotta do is put this back in here, because we're not using all-purpose flour. Put it back in my original container. Aww. See, I told you I'm a messy cook. I already spilt. Oh well. That's one good reason you wear aprons. Okay, so we're going to put that back. Okay, let's put this. Okay, a little bit of flour ain't going to hurt nothing. So let's measure. I think I do have. So we're going to want 2 cups of all-purpose. So we're going to use the almond flour. And I don't remember how much this was. So let's remeasure it. And this is almond flour. Okay, so this is 1.5 cups. So we need 2 cups of almond flour. And I like to mix my dry ingredients first. I'm going to shake that up before the whole thing spills on me. And I'm holding my hand just above the opening. So if it does spill, I don't get it. Like, see that big old chunk? That would have made a big mess. Okay, well, still not enough. I'm going to... This was sealed, but of course, with time, this was... I vacuum sealed this in May of 2020. That's another reason why I like to vacuum seal. Is it extends the shelf life of your dry ingredients. Okay, so now, okay, we're close enough to 2 cups. That's good enough for me. Okay, so 2 cups of flour. Alrighty. We're going to do 1 cup of sugar. Okay. And when you get little clumps like that, you want to break them up so you get an equal measurement. And, you know, when it comes to cookies, a little extra sugar doesn't hurt, but you don't also want it to be too sweet either. I'm just using the back of my little scoop to kind of break this clumps up. Because as you all know, I vacuum pack my sugar. And so you always get clumps. Even if you didn't, you got out of a bag, you still get clumps sometimes too, even when you just got a bag from the grocery store. Oops. That was too much sugar. I'm going to refill my little container. Oh, actually I should have put that back. That was actually a right amount portion. Okay. And I'm just shaking it to get a level measurement. It's still not. I'm off. I thought I was getting better at measuring as the more that I'm baking. Okay, here we go. 1 cup of sugar. Move this out of the way. Now before I go any further, I'm going to mix this up to make sure these two dry ingredients get mixed up very, very well. And I like recipes where you don't have to use a mixer. And I don't mind using my mixer. We have the KitchenAid, so I don't mind using it. But if it saves me a step, I don't mind using that either. Especially if the product is good to begin. It tastes good to begin with. And whenever I have more time, right now I'm kind of pressed for time because it's 9:40 and life got in the way, and I'm just now starting to make my cookies. But you know, since I don't typically go to bed till 12:01, it's not that big of a deal. But I am tired. It was a long, busy day at work today. But what I'm doing now is just basically I'm mixing up the sugar and the almond flour. And then just let me see if I just saw one. But if you see little dark speckles in the almond flour, don't really worry. You want to take a look at it, but pretty much, typically what it is, it's from time to time, when you get processed flour, you'll get the skin of the almond when they were separating it. And that's typically what it is, okay? But it doesn't hurt for you to double check it to make sure it's not no bug. But I always freeze all my flour. And I keep it I bring the bag home. I freeze it for a week. And then I bring it to room temperature. And then I vacuum pack it. Either my plastic bags or my vacuums. But now that I have buckets, I'm going to start putting these in buckets for my bulk storage. But I don't do a lot of almond flour. I know I should. Oh, I think I just saw a speckle. I'm trying to see if I can. Okay, that's gone. I lost it. It's such a fine little speck amount. Oh, there it is. Oops. You see that on that spoon? That little black speckle? That's a piece of the almond skin. And if you don't not know for sure, bring it up close to your eyeball and you'll see it. But I know that's what that is because I actually checked. When I put stuff in my jars or in my vacuum bags, I always inspect them. That way, once it's in there, I don't have to worry about it and I already know it's safe. And because it's been vacuum packed since 2020, there's no air, there's no bugs living in it. Because bugs need air to survive. Okay, so that's mixed up pretty darn good. Now we're going to see, there's my 1 cup of sugar, 2 cups of all wheat flour, almond flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, it asks for 1/2 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm just going to use my end of my knife. Make sure it's a level teaspoon, which it is. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Now, cream of tartar is also a good product. Let me bring that close to you. Cream of tartar is also a good product if you're doing some pressure canning. put a little scoop, I would say like half a teaspoon, that's all you need, in your water, your pressure canner water, and that'll help get all the dark stains off your inside the canner and off your metal racks. I learned that from another YouTuber. And I've done it only once, so I don't have an example of how to use it, that it works. But this YouTuber has been around for many, many, many years, and she's been canning for many, 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 many years. And she actually showed her lids. I don't know who she is because I didn't write it down. And stuff. But if I do, I'll put it in the description box, a copy of her link. But I sincerely doubt I have it, because I know I didn't write it down. And this was months and months ago that I saw this. So now I'm just going to mix that up to make sure it's all incorporated very well. Okay. Cream and tartar, because that. Okay, so now we're going to do the wet ingredients. So it's going to be 1 egg. Um, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And since this is my half, I don't want to get another one dirty. Oh, brand new jar. I haven't even opened it yet. It's going to go in the garbage. We don't have any chicken, so I don't have any chicken, so I don't have them, because normally a lot of people who raise chickens give the shells back to the chickens for them to eat. So that's one. How much did it say? 2 teaspoons, so 2 more. Man, this smells so good. I'm looking forward to in 2 more months for my homemade almond extract to be ready, because I made some. Okay. Let me put that here because I don't know if I'm going to need that again. Ah, and it just splashed all over me. Yeah, but I smell like almond. See, that's pure almond extract. I'm going to get my little towel because that was a little messy. Okay, so egg, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and that's it. And we're going to mix this all up. And then I'm going to cover this, and it's going to sit in the fridge for an hour. And then we're going to take them out, and we're going to heat them. Cook them on a 375 oven. I'm just going to use my little ice cream scooper, and I'm just going to take them out and put them on the cookie sheet. Man, this smells so good. I wish I could smell this. Oh, I forgot my butter. Yeah, my 1 cup of butter. That's the one good thing about using these slider measurings. It brings everything to one end. It scrapes it out for you. That's a nice little chunk there. I want to use all that. I don't want to waste it. Got a little greasy there. Okay, so that's done. This is done. The salt was from my other recipe that I'm not going to be using. Yeah, mix the sugar, margarine, eggs, and vanilla. Then you stir in the remaining and cover and refrigerate for 1 hour. Then after an hour, you shape them into 1-inch balls. Place about 2 inches apart on an ungreased cookie sheet. You flatten the bottom of the glass dipped in sugar. Bake until lightly brown, 8 to 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just mix this up. And you don't need to watch me do all that. And I'll bring you back when we'll put them on the cookie sheet. Then we'll bake them because it's only going to take 8 to 10 minutes. And then we'll get to do a taste test. We'll bring you back. Okay, we are back. I'm going to get ready to take it out of the bowl. Go take the wrapper off. And that was just plastic wrap that I had on here. And instead of using my scooper, because it says, place about 2 inches apart on an ungreased cookie sheet. Flatten with the bottom of glass dipped in sugar, and then you bake until golden brown. Oh, let me get my oven on. I don't think it's going to take that long. Okay, so I'm back. Make sure that I put it on the right temp. Where does it say to cook it on? Yeah, 375. Okay, so about a fourth of it, about a 1-inch scooper. For anybody that knows, let me know, what does putting this in the refrigerator do to the dough, the mix? I don't know what it is. Because it's kind of, see how watery it is? Like it says, I'm going to do it about one, and it says do it about, oh, I can't reach too far away. But 2 inches apart. So these must spread. And that's about an inch. I'm assuming close enough. And also, you know what? Because I used almond flour instead of whole wheat or all-purpose flour, I'm curious, and if anybody knows, please let me know in the comments if that has something to do with it. I don't know. But I did lick it. It tastes good. But how can you mess with all that sugar? I was hoping I can get them all in one pan, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm going to get myself another cookie sheet. And I think I've got about 2 inches apart from each other. At least I hope so. So we shall see how these turn out, and then also how much they spread for the next batch. Because it's definitely going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going to make 8. Normally I would put some in the middle, but because I don't know how much they're going to, actually I'm going to offset it though. I want to make these all about the same size. Oops, that was a little too much. I think they're going to get flat on their own. I don't think I'm going to have to flatten them. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little sugar on them because they're pretty liquidy. See that? So I'm just going to get a sugar and sprinkle on top a little bit. And we'll just, trial and error, see if it works out, see how it happens, how much is it spread. Hopefully it doesn't touch the other one next to it. But if it does, no big deal, I'll just cut it. These are just some cookies for a ladies group that I'm in. We're just enjoying the evening. And then I'm going to top each one off with a piece of almonds. Because remember, we made almond flour, almond extract, so we're going to put almonds on top. And I'm just barely putting it in, so when it expands, I'm hoping it expands a little bit, but I really don't know. We shall see. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this for the rest of these. I'll put them in the oven, and then I'm going to get my next batch, and I'll bring you back for the taste test. Okay? We'll bring you back. I'm trying to stay under my 15 minutes if I can. Okay, we are back, and I want to show you a close-up. They definitely spread all over. So I had to use my little metal spatula. And then what I'm doing, let me bring it back down, is I've got a container that I'm going to transport this in, but I ended up putting wax paper in between each layer because I don't know if this is going to stick to the other cookie next to it. So I'm doing one layer cookie, wax paper, layer cookie, and the wax paper again. But we're going to do the taste test. Now, this is the center part, as you can see. Now I'm going to get one of the edges. And number one, I really wish you could smell this because you could just definitely smell the almond, and you could smell the baked sugar. Okay, and remember, this is a crisp. It's not a cookie. It's a crisp. Okay, but it's like a cookie. So you see that? Bring that up. It's kind of hard, and look, it's chewy on the center. There's my little piece of my almond. It's definitely crunchy. Even the center part's crunchy. That was one of the end pieces. Now let's do the center piece. Of course, because it's in the center, it's a lot more chewier. And see how I kind of, with the weight, it kind of folds over. It's a lot more chewier, so if you want chewy, you want to eat from the center. If you want crunchy like me, I do crunchy. I do the outside. So this is going to be perfect for me and hubby, even though this is going to be for the girls tomorrow night. Is hubby gets the center because he likes chewy. I get the outer part because I like crunchy. So, even though I tweaked the recipe, I still give this a thumbs up. And I like the fact I can really, really, really taste the almond. But again, remember, we used almond flour and we used almond extract. And then, of course, I put almonds, diced up almonds on the top. But you can smell the almond in it, which is really, really good. It's not overpowering, but I think this is just enough where it curbs your sweet tooth without being overly sweet. I wouldn't do anything more. I do put notes in my recipe book that if I'm using almond flour, to make sure that I make just one, because it just spreads so far. Instead of doing the drops and doing the shaping and all that like I did the first one, the first part of the video, I'm just going to make one little layer. And because as you can see, let me bring this up to you. See how thin it is? Here's my, see, look at that. Look, see how thin that is? It's really thin, which is what a crisp is. A crisp is supposed to be thin. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. We catch you in the next video. Goodbye. Take care now.